Hello, my quilty friends. It's Stacy of Stacy Creates Stuff, and today it's quilter confession time. I'm going to admit, sometimes my seams don't line up perfectly, and I just call it done. I mean, if you can't see it from a galloping horse, it's okay, right? Not every quilt has to be competition level perfect. This is supposed to be an enjoyable hobby, and sometimes done really is better than perfect. So are you team perfect, or are you team it's done? This, of course, is not to say that I don't always try my best. It's just I don't sweat the small seams that don't line up perfectly. Confession number 2, sometimes I eyeball a 1/4 inch seam. Yes, I own lots of 1/4 inch feet. I have guides. I have all sorts of things. But in the end, I'm mostly just aiming for a consistent seam. Now, this usually works out just fine. Sometimes I end up with a row or column of fabric that's a little bit longer, usually not shorter, than what is called for in the pattern, but it's okay, and I can make adjustments. Some blocks, though, while I'm making them, just because of the angles and things like that, I do have to be more precise or square up my block, which leads us to confession number 3. But first, are you team precise 1/4 inch or winging it? Confession number 3, I don't always square up my blocks if I can get away with it. You know, if things are pretty close, I can ease in here and stretch a little there. I don't necessarily go back and precisely cut my blocks. Sometimes I do. There are some blocks that need that precision done. It'll make it easier in the next step. But a lot of times, especially if it's a quilt with just block after block after block, yeah, I usually just wing it. Are you team square up or team close enough? Confession number 4, I am not a pinner. And I'm also not usually a clipper. I mean, sometimes, love these things, greatest invention, but I don't always use them. Are there times when I really should have? Yes, of course. But most of the time, I just wing it. Are you team pin and clip, or are you team hope for the best? And my last confession, well, at least for this video, I am not a pre-washer or spray starch user. I have pre-washed fabric in the past, but I find that it means a lot more ironing and a lot more threads that I'm clipping off. Even if I do all those fancy little tricks like putting it into a mesh bag or clipping the corners of the fat 1/4 or yardage so that it doesn't fray as much. Yeah, I'm just not a fan. Now, there are some fabrics that I will pre-wash if I really think that it might bleed, or if the fabric just has a funky smell or feel to it that some pre-washing might help resolve. And as for spray starch, yeah, I don't know. Not to say that I will never, because I have a couple of projects that I'm working on that I think a little starch on the fabric will be beneficial because they're smaller pieces, and that will just help keep them under control. But in general, I do not spray starch. Nothing wrong with pre-washing or spray starching, just something that I don't do. So, are you team pre-wash or starch? Or are you team, yeah, let's just get sewing? Now, to be fair, I have been quilting for over 30 years, and so I have honed my skills to a point where I don't necessarily have to pin everything or clip everything because I have that muscle memory and the knowledge of what I can get away with and what I can't. And also, I've been looking at 1/4 inch seams for over 30 years, and so I feel pretty good about maybe they're not being absolutely precise, but certainly good enough. If you are a beginner, I do encourage you to explore all these different options. Is pinning going to help you? Is pre-washing your fabric going to make you feel better about your fabric? Does starch help you to create a much cleaner seam? Then use those tools. All of those tools are valuable. Just not everyone needs to use them. And you may, over time, find that you do want to do something or want to give it up. Also, I know some people are perfectionists. I am not always. In some things, yes. In quilting, no. I just have so many ideas that I want to move on to the next one. So I don't have time to worry about all my points lining up perfectly. Because when you are done with your quilt and it's all quilted and it's hanging up or it's on a bed, you're going to be hard pressed to find that star point that's missing or that seam that doesn't quite line up. The beauty of the quilt will still be there. And hopefully you have experienced fun and joy in making the quilt. And that is what is the most important part. And if you're ready to keep honing your skills, why not check out this? See you next time.